Holy, that is probably the best fragrance I have ever smelled. What? In the fragrance community recently, there has been a fragrance house that has been quickly climbing up to the top of the ranks for quality, the price, and just the sheer uniqueness of their offerings. This fragrance that we're going to be reviewing today is called Marj by Ahmed Al Maghribi. Now, I have a few fragrances from the house. They are very high quality smelling fragrances, and they basically live in a territory between designer and niche. And some of them tend to be on the higher end of that niche territory. And I gotta say, this one is up there with niche. So let's talk about this one. What's going on, everyone? It's Eli with Common Sense. Thank you so much for joining me, and I am so excited to talk about this fragrance today. I've been spraying this on my clothes, in my car, on my hair, and on my body just all throughout this past week, and I'm just obsessed with this juice. This one is from the house of Ahmed Al Maghribi, and this one is called Marj. Now, when I first saw this, I thought it was going to be a twist on a Louis Vuitton fragrance, you know, because it kind of opens up like this. Got your cylindrical case on the outside. Now, this actually has a really nice velvety texture on the outside. It feels really nice and high quality. You got the Marj logo right up here, and as you can see at the bottom, this is a 60 ml bottle. It's a 2-ounce eau de parfum, but do not let that fool you because this stuff is potent as hell. It is so strong, and you really only need to use a few sprays of this to be noticed from across the room. So satisfying. I honestly didn't even know that this was a 60 ml bottle in the first place until I just saw it right now. But again, like I said, it's so strong that you're only going to need to use a few sprays. This is a very unique bottle, and I'm not entirely sure what this is going to be inspired by. I want to say, I think I saw in Smelly Cat's review of this. You should actually check it out up here because he did a fantastic job of describing this fragrance, and I watched that while I was waiting for this one to get delivered. And I just got so giddy and hyped. But this one, it kind of looks like one of those little seeds that falls from a tree, and it is a very, very unique bottle. The top also has that velvety texture, and it's got this strange little flat part at the top. Not necessarily a huge fan of it, but I think it's definitely a unique looking bottle for your shelf. It'll definitely raise some questions, and it'll be a good conversation piece if somebody comes over and sees it. Now let's do a quick spray test. Really nice high pressurized atomizer that does a huge blast of fragrance, and I'm just like getting a huge cloud of this fragrance right in front of me, and it smells so freaking incredible, you guys. A blast of beautiful juicy fruits. You get some pear. I think they also had some raspberry included in the note breakdown, but oh my goodness, does this smell tropical. It's fruity, and it is just intoxicatingly fresh in the opening. And when I saw the notes in this one, it also had some violet, some sandalwood, and some other leathery notes, but when I first saw this, I didn't expect it to be this juicy. And I remember with Ahmed Al Maghribi's Blue Oud, that one is more of a dark leather and fruit. It's like a little bit of that tropical fruit punch with some of that new car leather, but I think this smells better in my opinion. This is way more well blended. It's not going to be as earthy as that one, and this just smells so expensive. In addition to the pear and the raspberry, you also have some ambrette, and as it dries down, you get a little bit more agar wood, some violet, saffron, and ambergris, and it does have a really nice airy quality from that ambergris, and I think there's just a nice touch of that agar wood in there that gives it a little bit of a dark edge, but again, not quite as dark as something like Blue Oud. Man, there's also a beautiful floral note in here from that violet, and I almost want to say there's a touch of like a rose in there, so it's like a very creamy floral. It's kind of waxy at the same time, but that musk, the ambergris, it just smells so incredible. And I think the musks that they use in here, they're not going to be like a super western musk where it's going to smell a little bit salty, kind of like an ambroxan musk, but no, this is going to be a very high quality niche level Middle Eastern smelling musk. It's also got a really nice syrupy gourmand vibe in there from some of the fruits, and also some of that saffron as well. So I think the saffron gives it just a touch of a spice, a little bit more of a depth, but still it smells very buttery. It's like a waxy, creamy, just fruity gourmand touch, especially with that nice leather. So this is probably one of the best leather notes that I've smelled in a fragrance. It just smells so high quality, and there's just something so intoxicating about that leather. So sometimes leather can come off a little bit headache inducing. Sometimes it can be like a Russian leather where it's like super strong, and there are some subtle differences in the leather notes and materials that are available out there. But whatever leather note that is used in this is my favorite leather to date, and I honestly just wish I could have a full vial of that raw material just to sniff all day. But yeah, that musky leather, it is so creamy, it is so intoxicating, and honestly, whenever I smell this stuff, I just get excited. I'm like ready to go. I'm gonna put my best foot forward, and I am super confident. I feel like I just ooze swagger whenever I wear this. Now, whether or not I actually have swagger, that's up to you. But either way, this is going to be a standout fragrance for sure. And I remember a couple people actually recommended that I try this one out. So shout out to you. Thank you for telling me to check this one out, because it is definitely blind buy worthy, and I am not disappointed in the slightest. In fact, this is probably my favorite blind buy to date. Yeah, in the dry down, it loses a little bit of that sweet, kind of fruity, juicy quality in the opening, but it definitely still has some of that nice ambergris, the leather, the amber and musks, and it just smells so incredible. And I want to say this reminds me of a few different, you know, fragrances that are out there. It smells a little bit designer, and it does smell kind of niche. So it's like you're taking the best of everything and kind of combining it into a very, very unique fragrance profile. And I don't think this is typically cloning anything. I think this is more of an original creation. But if you have tried this one, let me know down in the comments if there's something out there that this is going to be inspired by. But again, this smells super unique and not like anything that I have ever smelled. So I'm starting to believe that this is more of an original creation. Now, performance and longevity is amazing in this stuff, and it did say that it is an eau de parfum, but I did see online somewhere that somebody said it was a 40% concentration. So, you know, it definitely feels more like an extrait de parfum concentration, especially with the performance and the longevity. On my skin, I get really good, strong performance, a nice bubble around you for a good 5 hours, and then it still lasts and it lingers on your clothes and on your skin. I remember I sprayed it on one of my sweaters earlier, and I can even still smell it like 14 or 18 hours later. So you're definitely going to get over that 12-hour mark for sure. But you know, where most fragrances kind of die off around that 3-hour mark, it's still going really strong. And yeah, you can still smell it wafting up to your nose about 5 to 6 hours later. So this stuff is super potent and super strong. Just a few sprays and you will definitely have people behind you and around you noticing you. And that's what you want in a fragrance. Now this one, I feel like it's super unisex. I feel like there are some kind of floral and musky notes in there that the women can definitely appreciate. And I myself love the way that this smells. Again, the fruity notes and the leather, I think, make it smell like perfect for anyone. So if you like those kind of sweet notes, the musks, and also some leather, then this is going to be perfect. This is going to be for anybody who just wants to stand out in the crowd and turn heads, because if I was walking out and about and somebody walked by me with this fragrance, I feel like I'd snap my neck trying to figure out who that was, because it's that intoxicating. Now, in terms of the price, I think I paid around $50 or $60 for this on Fragrance Buy, but the quality is insane and it just smells like a niche level perfume. And honestly, if this was in a different bottle and I didn't know that this was from the house of Ahmed Al Maghribi, I'd probably say that this is a $200-300 fragrance for sure. So whatever they're doing with their notes and their compositions, they are doing it right. So the hype is absolutely real for this fragrance, and I'm glad that it's finally getting on this channel to review. So that one is Ahmed Al Maghribi's Marj. So let me know down in the comments if you've tried this fragrance or if there are any other fragrances from Ahmed Al Maghribi. Again, I have reviewed Blue Oud if you want to check it out up here, and I also have some other fragrances like I think Kaf and some other ones like Blue, but I would love to review some more fragrances. So please let me know some other ones from this house, because they are just hidden gem bangers. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. I'm Eli with Common Sense. Until the next time, bye-bye. I need this stuff. I feel like I need this in a vape, just like, yeah, honestly, I just need the Ahmed Al Maghribi cart.